You know that feeling when you're super excited about something and then it turns out to be the worst decision of your life? Yeah. That was me on this blind date. I thought I was walking into a fairy tale, but what I got was straight out of a horror movie. Let me give you some backstory. I'd been single for a while, and my best friend, Lisa, kept insisting that I needed to put myself out there. I wasn't really into online dating, so she suggested a blind date. She said she had the perfect guy for me. Charming, funny, successful. His name was Alex. At first, I was skeptical. I mean, who even goes on blind dates anymore? But Lisa swore up and down that Alex was a total catch. Against my better judgment, I agreed. The date was set for Friday night at this fancy Italian restaurant. I spent hours picking out the perfect outfit, doing my hair, and even watching YouTube videos on how to make a great first impression. I was nervous, but also a little excited. Maybe, just maybe, this would be the start of something special. I arrived at the restaurant 5 minutes early. I was expecting some tall, well-dressed guy to walk in and sweep me off my feet. Instead, well, let's just say, reality hit me like a truck. The moment Alex walked in, I knew I was in trouble. First of all, he looked nothing like what Lisa had described. She said he was athletic and handsome. In reality, he was wearing a stained hoodie, cargo shorts, and flip-flops to a fancy restaurant. His hair was greasy, like he hadn't washed it in a week, and he smelled like onions. I tried to stay positive. Maybe he had a rough day. Maybe he was nervous, too. But then he sat down. The first words out of his mouth, "So, are you paying for this, or should we just dine and dash?" I laughed, thinking he was joking. He wasn't. I told him I was planning on us splitting the bill, but he rolled his eyes and mumbled something about feminism ruining dating. Red flag number 1. Then, before even asking me anything about myself, he pulled out his phone and started scrolling, full on ignoring me. I awkwardly sipped my water, hoping he'd put his phone down. After a few minutes of painful silence, I finally asked, "So, what do you do for work?" He smirked and said, "I don't believe in jobs." I almost choked on my drink. "What do you mean?" "I just think working is a scam. I live with my mom and she takes care of everything. Why waste my energy when life is supposed to be fun?" At this point, I was seriously regretting my decision, but I wasn't rude, so I forced myself to keep the conversation going. "So, what do you do for fun?" His eyes lit up. "I'm really into conspiracy theories." Oh boy. He then went on a 20-minute rant about how the moon landing was fake, the government controls our thoughts, and how he thinks birds are actually robots spying on us. The waiter came by 3 times to take our order, but Alex was too busy explaining how the earth is definitely flat to even look at the menu. I finally interrupted him. "Hey, should we order?" He groaned like I was interrupting his TED Talk, then lazily pointed at the menu and said, "I'll just have the lobster." Lobster. The most expensive thing on the menu. I raised an eyebrow. "I thought you didn't believe in working." He shrugged. "Yeah, but if someone else is paying, why not?" Red flag number 2. By this point, I was done. I wanted to grab my purse and run, but I didn't want to be rude. So I sat there counting down the minutes until this nightmare was over. But it wasn't over yet. Right before our food arrived, Alex suddenly got this serious look on his face. He leaned in, lowered his voice, and said, "I think we should just get married." I blinked. "Excuse me? I'm serious. You seem like a smart girl, and I need someone to take care of me. My mom says it's time for me to find a wife." I thought he was joking, but then he pulled out a ring pop and slid it across the table. "Let's make this official," he said, dead serious. I almost laughed, but the look in his eyes told me he wasn't playing. At that moment, I realized I needed to leave, immediately. I grabbed my purse and stood up. "This has been interesting, but I think I need to go." As I turned to walk away, he suddenly grabbed my wrist. "Wait, you can't leave yet. The food's coming." I yanked my arm away and power walked out of the restaurant. I didn't care about being polite anymore. I texted Lisa the moment I got outside. Never set me up again. And guess what? She called me 5 minutes later, laughing. Turns out she knew Alex was a disaster but wanted to set me up with him as a joke. She thought it would be funny. I was fuming. I blocked Alex, ignored Lisa for a week, and swore off blind dates forever. Looking back, I can laugh at it now, but at the time, it was humiliating. The lesson? Never trust your friends to set you up. And if a guy ever pulls out a ring pop and calls it a proposal, run. So yeah, that was my blind date disaster. If you've ever had a terrible date, let me know in the comments. Let's suffer together. If you enjoyed this story time, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I've got more crazy stories coming your way, so stay tuned. Love,